League of Hashinshin.
What is League of Hashinshin? There's another YouTube channel that just posts my shit. On the League of Legends subreddit, someone was like throwing a temper tantrum over Maokai support. Apparently, so okay, he is the 26th highest pick support with a 52% win rate. And he was throwing a temper tantrum over his win rate. And I'm like, he's not in the top 10. He's not even in the top 20. He's got a few people playing him. And I was like, what?
I mean, he started being played because of Yumi. Like, there's a Yumi counter. But you can basically just play him into, like, any enchanter.
Is Kled counter Maokai? Say does well into him. I mean, the fact that they chose both the 60% healing debuff champions is kind of annoying. Yeesh. 60% reduced healing. I feel like Kled's Q doesn't actually counter Aatrox so hard, at least in the laning phase. But I feel like it definitely beats up Maokai pretty badly. Which is funny because Maokai used to be like one of the worst counters to Kled, straight up. Holy shit. Okay, I thought I used my W on him there. It actually never went off. Because with Aatrox, what you actually do, if Kled Qs you, use all your shit, use your passive and stuff before the Q pulls you. Because then you get it off before you get the healing debuff, right? But with Maokai, his kit is based about actually like healing in the fight more in the laning phase, you know? Like with Grassband dying and his passive. So I feel Maokai actually gets hurt pretty bad by Kled, as you can see. It's pretty hard to deal with. See, I'm torn on Maokai because if Maokai is good early game, he instantly turns into this anti-bruiser mega kill thing that just destroys everything on the map. But then they make him really good late game, and then he turns into this, you know, once I have 2 items, good doing any damage champion. And I feel like it should be an in-between. Like, if you get the late game, he shouldn't literally just be unkillable unless you have 3 people beating on him. But he also shouldn't just be so abusable early game. Am I dead? I think I'm dead. Fuck. God damn. Oh, I hate Kled. I now hate Kled if I'm playing Maokai. You don't even like want to lane correctly because he's not trying to lane correctly. He's giving up all CS just to run at me and last hit me. I mean, it goes into what I was saying earlier. Like, if Maokai reaches mid-game, even Kled's 60% healing debuff is going to start struggling to kill him, right? But then Kled kills him so easily in the laning phase. It's just like, ugh, it's just too much. Like, they should just tone down his passive in the late game. Like, maybe make it 25 at all ranks or something. So it's a slight buff 1 to 5, same 6 to 10, then a nerf 11 plus. Something like that. Dr. Mundo does not have the same tankiness of Maokai. I feel like if you play both Dr. Mundo and Maokai, you'd very quickly understand. I think I need to flash that. Shit. Did he really get that off in his last seconds? God damn it. What I'm saying is just the cooldown on his passive. You know? Because, like, the cooldown on his passive, especially once you reach level 11, goes a bit nuts. Do I think Shyvana's gonna come counter this guy from diving me or not? Or Rek'Sai will dive. They could easily kill Kled here. 100%. He has no remount, he can't even gain courage. Just shoot him with the There you go. There you go. Maybe give Maokai passive the Atrix treatment, less healing against minions. Okay, that would nerf the fuck out of his early game and not nerf his late game. So, I mean, would that be one way to balance him? Yes, by making him very shit early game, which I don't believe is what I was saying to do at all. Problem is there's too much healing in this game. How can there be too much damage and too much healing? Just sounds like an interesting game at that point. There's lots of healing, but there's also lots of damage. Okay, like, isn't that the point? Oh, this is really bad. For now, I can keep this lane stabilized, but once he gets that Bork, I'm gonna die. God damn, that didn't do any damage. This guy's playing so aggressive. Where's Shyvana? Dude, I will literally never get a jungler. It's impossible. I will never see a jungler until the end of my days. Oh, Cat probably should have jumped off the Shyvana burn. Probably. And Kled Q can... You can Q Kled into your ult again after he is in your ult. Does it do the damage again? Dude, I feel like Maokai is one of those champions who actually could be interesting. But instead of making any of his abilities do more damage, they were just like, nah, just add like a shitload of healing and stuff. Like, hitting 2 ults or knocking into saplings or stuff like that could be more interesting. But instead, he just does a shitload of healing. You know, everyone keeps talking about Maokai's old ult, and they're like, he used to be so cool with it. Puts up ult, takes no damage. Wow, this is so interesting. Literally just takes no damage. That's his whole shtick. Oh, I'm dead. Yeah, okay. And Pike's here. I don't know, I was gonna make a flash, but no, they had Pike, so it's pointless. I feel like a lot of people look at old kits and they love that it's such a stat stick. They're like, it's so interesting because look, it's a huge stat stick. You know? Like, what? Guys, old Maokai ult was so cool. Didn't you like the way that it turned every fight into a giant stat check? You know, because you either had enough damage to go through him or he just perma healed. Maokai ultar's budget Alistar R. Yeah, basically. Except, didn't it also, like, affect teammates or something? Like, the entire point of his ult was he put it down at 1 point, then he took reduced damage at that point. And if you walked around, he wouldn't take the reduced damage anymore, right? But then they made it around him instead of at a point. And then people loved the version where it had no gameplay or counterplay or anything you could do, and he just ran around. They were like, that was so cool, but no, it really wasn't. And it was super lame to fight. Yeah, but the amount of damage it absorbed was super capped. You could only end up doing up to like, I think the rank 1 dealt up to like 400 tops. So it wasn't like, you know, oh my god, it kills. It was like, oh yeah, it did slightly more damage than a regular ult. Where can I TP? There we go. I should have found that ward with my random spam clicking much faster. Think about how much healing is in the game. Adding a healing debuff nerfs her against pretty much everything, and also stops her from randomly countering things she shouldn't be countering. Like, should she really be a counter to Maokai, the anti-mage tank? No. Well, they started fighting eventually. Did Aphelios just kill that Rek'Sai during his tunnel animation? Our team is too much of a death ball. No one can deal with it from their team. Best they could do is have Katarina deal with it.
You and me, we've got this. You and me, we've got this.
We press W right before being yoinked by Cled's Q. Do you get yoinked anyway? Yes. I believe Cled's W is actually cancelable now. I've seen it actually get canceled a few times, which is amazing considering it was cancel immune in the past. This was a game.